Hey, welcome back, Airbarians, and Happy New Year to all. I hope you guys enjoyed your winter vacation. I know I did. Sorry I wasn't there for a few weeks, but I actually still am a little bit sick. But we're going to go right back into it with this review. It's a special new delivery. That's right, it's going to be Delivery Man, directed by Ken Scott, who, if you don't know, it's okay. He's done a few French films in his when he first started. Then he did the screenplay for Starbuck, which is actually the book based off this movie. So it was actually interesting to see that in his repertoire. So yeah, it's going to be yet another Vince Vaughn comedy, that hits the big screen. His fans, like myself, it never ceases to amaze us that his movies are what we want in a certain type of comedy. Yes, I say it that way because Vince Vaughn, like other certain actors, seem to have a certain type of audience that they bring in. You know, Working for a theater, I actually do see um, the audiences that see certain types of films, and it's actually interesting, you know, to see who does show up. Like for The Heat, for example, I thought it was going to be, the pot smokers, the raunchy comedy crowd, but in actuality, it was a lot of seniors. A lot of seniors went in, I guess, because of Sandra Bullock. She's an award winner. She's funny. She's talented, and it was actually interesting to see that people went to go see The Heat. And actually turned out to be, I mean, not a big blockbuster, but a decently, uh, quotable and acceptable movie for a lot of people. So it was actually funny. Um, but yeah, and unfortunately, there is always a surplus of these people that see these movies. I'm not gonna lie, I really don't consider myself as one of those fans, but I seem to enjoy those types of films. Like The Hangovers, The Heat, for instance. This one, Delivery Man. Actually, this isn't really that raunchy of a comedy, but it's basically going back to his older roles, where it's still hilarious to watch him, but also not raunchy, where there's not like so much sex and so much fuck this and fuck that and shit. Oh my god, like it's not at that like that at all. It's actually a really interesting film. And it was actually based off of a book called Starbuck, and I seem to enjoy that factor that Vince Vaughn actually did a movie that was based off of a book. I don't think he's ever done one. I'd have to look it up, but I don't think he actually did. But it's a little different from your typical Vince Vaughn film, like I keep saying. He actually plays a normal guy in a really awkward and bizarre situation, which you may think, hey, he's done that before. But in this situation, this film actually focuses on Vaughn's character and how apparently there's a mix-up at a sperm bank clinic, and it turns out that he is the father of 533 kids. Now I can't even imagine on how you get out of that situation and or react to that situation when being told. And the thing is, these kids are now suing him to reveal on who he is, which I find very, very interesting. In my own opinion, in my own personal film history, I don't think I've ever seen this story before. I mean, not even once. I mean, it's an uncommon storyline, but yet a common occurrence in some films. Obviously, not to the extent of this magnitude, and but it works, and it's good. And I love that a good Vince Vaughn comedy, especially the ones as he's done especially the one in '96, classic Swingers with Jon Favreau. Now, unfortunately, this wasn't really his best work, but it's a fun comedy with a fun cast to have, And with that being said, the cast did bring me to the theater clearly, because I love Vince Vaughn clearly. Newly being brought up here, Mr. Chris Pratt. You'll probably see him in Zero Dark 30, or I saw him in Parks and Rec, and then you also have, not to mention, Shield Agent Maria Hill in as a couple showings in this film. Yes, it's actually her, Miss Robin Scherbatsky, if you will, Miss Colby Smulders. Beautiful, very funny. Like I said, didn't get really a lot of time in this one, um, but what they're going to do. I mean, Pratt had a good performance. He was very funny. He was good as a dad character. It was very enjoyable to see him in that type of role. Granted, it may seem that the number of notables are on the small side of this, but these actors did get me because I love all three of these people. You know, Colby Smulders. You know, I love in How I Met Your Mother. Chris Pratt, like I said, I love in Parks and Rec, and Vince Vaughn. I mean, there's just numerous things that I love him in, and they all brought me to the theater, and uh, it may be on the small side, but with good characters, you know, it was done well with these characters, and it felt like, you know, it was a heartwarming story that actually kept me involved. I didn't feel like, oh, you know, I'm gonna fall asleep in this, and it was actually fun to watch it. It's true. It's true. I actually did really enjoy this film. It was easy to follow. It was fun to follow as well. The cast was funny, especially in this type of situation, because it was very funny to see how certain people reacted to that typical situation. I mean, it's 533 kids. That's just completely nuts. Because honestly, like I said, I honestly, how I really think that the writers got it right here on how a guy would react in that situation. At least in my opinion. I don't know how anyone else would, but I kind of see that's how the way that they was portrayed. The way I kind of think it was how it would how it would how it went down. It was actually interesting. I probably would have reacted the same way Wozniak did, and I keep going back to Jobs on that one because it's Wozniak and I find it funny. All in all, it's a fun film with an upbeat cast who we all love to watch. Plus, it's Vince Vaughn as a dad. I mean, sometimes you just gotta watch that. So, I do recommend this. I guess it was a funny story. The story flowed, so which was good. Well, check it out. If you, I definitely recommend this film. You know, like I said, it's a fun film to watch. Also, make sure you check out my channel. I promise you I don't have 533 kids, but I do have a lot of great videos and reviews to check out on my channel. So make sure you select subscribe. That's right, I said that to here, you know, to my channel, because we're always having fun here at the Gare Bear Review. So make sure you guys check out our next adventure with Josh Brolin in the remake of Old Boy. Yes, that should be an interesting one. So stay tuned.